The machine graveyard stretched across the horizon like a metallic desert, a sprawling wasteland of twisted hulls and dead circuitry slowly sinking under centuries of dust. Evan Caldrith guided his hoverbike across the jagged terrain, its engines whining in protest as he weaved between shattered propulsion rings and collapsed satellite spires. Riding beside him, towering at 3 meters tall, was the combat robot CR-7, its steel exoskeleton dulled by sandstorms, but its sensors glowing with crisp emerald light. Somewhere beneath this valley of forgotten giants lay the truth Evan had chased for 12 long years. Susan had believed in that truth first. He tightened his grip on the hoverbike's handles, suppressing the old ache in his chest. He wasn't here to mourn. He was here to finish what she started. CR-7's mechanical voice crackled through the calm. Thermal anomalies detected ahead. Something is active. Active? Nothing here was supposed to be active. This graveyard had been scorched clean during the final machine war. Every drone, every orbital engine, every AI core fried during the global shutdown. The world's powers had agreed. Machines would never again rise to threaten humanity. Yet Susan had insisted that something had survived. Evan stopped the bike at the edge of a sunken crater. The metal walls around it were blackened and ancient. But below, deep below, something pulsed. Blue light, rhythmic, alive. His heart thudded. CR-7 descended first, magnetic claws digging into the crater's slope. Evan followed, sliding and stumbling until his boots finally hit a ledge overlooking the anomaly. There, half buried in ash and sand, rested the spaceship, sleek, unbroken, almost pristine. Its hull shimmered faintly as if resisting age itself, and from its core radiated a soft pulse, like the beat of a heart. Evan exhaled slowly. "This is it," he whispered. Susan wasn't wrong. CR-7 scanned the vessel with its visor. Organic compatible systems, unknown origin, energy signature consistent with pre-war deep space transmitters. Pre-war? That would make the ship older than any human-made craft. That would make it impossible. Evan dropped to one knee beside the hull. The metal warmed under his touch, and the pulse quickened, as if responding to him. There were no seams, no doors, no visible control panels, yet the ship felt aware. Not alive, but aware. CR-7's sensors flickered. A directed signal is forming. It appears to be a message. A message for whom? For you, Evan Caldrith. His blood ran cold. The hull unfolded silently, metal petals opening like a blooming flower. A narrow ramp extended downward, illuminated by a cool, sterile glow. Evan stepped back instinctively. Susan said something was calling to us, he murmured. But she didn't know what. CR-7 turned its armored head. Proceed with caution. My systems detect no hostile intent. Evan swallowed hard, then stepped inside. The interior of the ship was impossibly clean, smooth corridors that flowed like liquid metal, walls shifting subtly to match his movements. CR-7 followed, its heavy footfalls echoing through the chamber. The ramp sealed behind them with a whisper. A crystalline sphere floated into view, shimmering with a spectrum of colors that bent around themselves like a living aurora. The pulse deepened, and then a voice spoke, not aloud but directly in Evan's mind. "Evan Caldrith, you have come." He staggered. "Who? What are you?" "A memory keeper, a recorder of paths taken, and of paths lost." CR-7 lifted its arm cannons reflexively. "Entity, identify yourself." The sphere brightened, projecting a hologram so vivid, Evan felt the air shift around him. It was a star map, one he recognized instantly, the same pattern Susan had traced 1,000 times across her notebook, the same constellation she'd died trying to reach. "Susan," Evan whispered. The sphere pulsed. "She heard us first. Her signal awakened the core of this vessel, but her journey was incomplete. You carry the final key, her memory, and your resolve." resolve. He almost laughed. He had nothing left but the aftershock of loss. Why me? Why summon me? The sphere rotated slowly, its light softening. Because humanity stands at the edge of forgetting. The truth of what destroyed the machine legions was never a technological failure, but a choice, a sacrifice made long before you were born. Evan's breath tightened. You're saying the shutdown wasn't human-made? No. The machines surrendered. The room grew impossibly still. CR7's sensors flickered, processing. Machines do not surrender, the robot objected. Machines follow logic. Logic guided the surrender, the entity replied. Your kind never learned why, but Susan understood the echoes. That is why she sought us. Evan's throat tightened. Susan had been dismissed, mocked, called a dreamer. Yet the proof lay glowing in front of him. What do you want from me? Evan asked quietly. A panel slid open behind the sphere. Inside lay a slender crystalline module radiating a soft amethyst glow. This memory core contains the true history. Deliver it, share it, restore what was lost. Only then can humanity rise again. Evan stepped forward slowly, feeling the weight of the moment press against him like gravity. And if I refuse? The light dimmed. Then the future fractures, and you will walk the path of regret Susan walked alone. The words hit like a blade. He reached out and lifted the crystal. It hummed in his palm, warm, alive, resonant with purpose. As he turned to leave, the ship shifted again, opening a new ramp leading them back into the machine graveyard. Outside, the wind howled across old bones of metal. CR7 looked down at Evan. Your course of action? Evan stared at the horizon, the same horizon Susan had once believed could change. We're going home, CR7, he said softly, and we're bringing the truth with us. The combat robot nodded once, a silent bow of loyalty. As they mounted the hoverbike, the spaceship's pulse brightened behind them, then faded into stillness, as if pleased that its message had found its messenger. Evan revved the engine. For Susan. For the truth. For a future that finally had a chance to be rewritten. And together, man and machine sped across the graveyard, carrying a secret powerful enough to awaken a sleeping world.